Welcome to the Twinkle Talks EYFS podcast. Working in the early years is busy, funny, messy, and exhausting. Join me, Shána, some of the Twinkle EYFS team, special guest speakers, and other early years practitioners as we talk honestly about our experiences. Whether you're listening for CPD, on your commute, or to help you relax, Twinkle EYFS will share everything you need to know about all things early years. Hi Lorna, thank you so much for joining us today on our podcast. Lovely to see you.
Thank you for inviting me. It's exciting.
It's been a pleasure. Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And I'm very excited to talk about today's episode. It is one of my passions. And not just as a teacher, but as an adult in general. I like the creative arts. But before we get involved right into the episode, please, would you like to introduce us to your lovely listeners?
I will. So my name is Lorna Head, and ironically, I was Mrs. Head, the head teacher.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So yeah, that's going back a few years, but I started out as a little apprentice in a nursery. And just worked my way up and decided at that point I was going to go back to university, become the teacher, do an early years degree there, start off as an early years teacher, then an early years lead, then deputy head, then head, and then time to step away and look after myself and my family. And I came to Twinkle and do a bit of tutoring as well, sort of on the side. So but yes, so started off as a little writer editor for the very, very fast response team, and now I'm education content lead, art gallery, all the really lovely extra stuff, learning beyond the curriculum, as we like to say.
I think we should rename you to Mrs. Hats because it's Lorna of the many hats. You've worn every hat in the education. I love that. Look at all the expertise we've got from one person. And you're right, it's learning beyond the curriculum. I would say maybe more so for national curriculum. But I would love to argue that it is definitely part of the curriculum for early years. We have that specific area of learning called expressive arts and design. So, I'm very, very excited to talk about how we can, integrate all the different creative skills and resources and processes and things into our settings. So I suppose we can start from the beginning. Like what is in some schools we have to segment our classrooms into different areas. What would be a creative area then?
In my head, I was one of those teachers that would try and squeeze everything into everything, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it's not just a writing area. There's so much more that goes on in a writing corner than just sitting down with a pen and a piece of paper. And for me, that is what creative enables us to do. The reading area. Yes, we can sit down, we can read a story, we can turn the pages and hold it the right way up. But equally, we can get the story stones out or the puppets and retell a story, make up our own story from scratch as well. And why not get kids making their own puppets to tell the story or painting their own stones to make a story? So there's so much more than just doing what an area is supposed to do. Yeah. I was the really annoying one in the classroom that let the kids just move everything from every area into other areas. And then at tidy up time, my assistants would be like, oh, she's done it again.
That was not me. I would be on nursery nurses. Like, what have you done? This organised, my palace of organisation, what have you done?
Yeah, I was very lucky. I had an amazing nursery nurse that got me and I got her. And between the two of us, it all worked out in the end.
There you are.
And every session, you wouldn't know that was what had happened in the session before because the kids equally knew everything had a home.
Yeah.
So really, really key.
Yeah.
But, having things out all the time so they can, like, again, if they're telling a story, why not make up a song to go with it? Or if they know a song, getting the instruments out or making some instruments to sing the song that goes with the story or a nursery rhyme. There's just so much more than sitting in an area and just.
Well, you're right, because and I'm sure I'm not the only one here, is that when, someone says creative area, the immediate thing you think of is painting.
Yeah.
And look, there's nothing wrong with painting. Not at all. But there's so much more than that, right?
Yeah. definitely. You know, it is painting, but why not have the storytelling, the songs, the moving around in different ways? You know, I always remember that advert on telly, I want to be a tree, you know, being a tree, blowing around in a story. I'm thinking I'm a bit older than you.
Yeah, what? Describe in detail to this advert, please, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
There was some random man stood in a field with his arms out like a tree saying, I want to be a tree. This was about the time I did my training. So,
was there a particular reason he wanted to be a tree, or was it just...
I can't remember that bit. I just remember the advert of the man saying that.
What marvellous. Listeners, if you have any idea as to what Lorna is talking about, can you write in and let me know, please? Because I'd love to know. Sounds great.
I'm going to end up Googling it after this.
Yeah.
Sending it to you.
Yeah, please.
But it's the dance as well. And, you know, even something like maths, which sounds, you know, how can you get creative in maths? That's supporting children in developing their spatial awareness. So when it comes to making things in crafts, they need to have that for their cutting. You know, we've all got those children that kind of rip a piece of paper, because let's be honest, that is far easier than trying to cut with a pair of scissors. So it's about developing that skill for them in a fun way, and putting things together so they're exploring the different ways of stacking, connecting. That's developing all those kind of joining methods that they could then use later on in craft as well.
Yeah, and we're going to get onto this in a second, but it's not just about, like you say, the creative side of it. You can create with materials, which is, you know, it's scientific as well, and like you say, a little bit of characteristics of effective learning in there, problem solving, making connections, all of that. But it's the other side. It's the imaginative side, the role play, the story, the small world. You know, the sensory areas, the water play, the sound. You know, it can be anywhere. But there's an important reason as to why this can be everywhere, isn't it? And it's because it can contribute to so many different areas of learning and areas of the curriculum, right? It's not just that expressive arts and design descriptor.
Absolutely does. And that's why I think it's my favorite thing, because it's, you know, getting children to sit down and do writing, you can make it extremely fun and creative, but you can do it using creative skills in a much better way. It doesn't need to be dry and switch children off. Developing really important life skills, you could do it in this way. Like, my favorite thing of all time was telling children, because I'm old, I would go to bed and things would fall out my ears. I forget. Can you write down how you made that amazing Lego or whatever it might be machine? Because I want to do it when I get home. And that was the best way to get children writing.
Yeah, definitely. That's lovely. So let's talk about the prime areas then. So we've got communication and language, physical development, and personal, social, and emotional development. What do creative resources, activities, skills contribute to those areas?
I think, like, communication and language, at the very kind of simplest, is that talking about what they've done or planning what are they going to do, and developing those skills, using that whatever they've made to then tell a story. So going back to that idea of making a puppet and using a puppet in the reading area, they're going to have to use their speech to retell a story. They could have a go, and we've all had those children that kind of sit there with their puppet on the hand, speaking some kind of made-up language.
It's marvellous, yeah.
That we sit and we agree with, but they've really got to be able to communicate that, and they've got to listen to what that other person, maybe with another puppet, is doing. So it's that absolute two-way street.
Yeah, I love that.
Physically, obviously, straight away we can think of the fine motor skills, the drawing, the painting, the colouring, the cutting. You know, developing those hand-eye coordination is so important for that later writing. But, you know, go big outside. Go and get decorators' paintbrushes so they can paint the fence with water, or to use the giant chalks on the pavement. And all of that, again, just helps with that writing later on.
Yeah.
Making up a potion.
Sorry. Yeah. No, please. That was me. I was just so excited. I agree with you. And I think a lot of it as well is, again, nobody's fault, but you might automatically go to, oh yeah, the creative is really good for fine motor skills only. But it's not, it's the gross motor, like start there. We always say start with a bigger scale and then make it smaller and more detailed as they, you know, develop. And it's the same with your creative art skills. Go bigger, use bigger resources, and then start to go, you know, sort of narrow it down a bit. But also, you know, like we keep saying, it's not just about the creating and using materials, it's about expressive arts as well as design. So when they're doing dancing and, you know, moving around and choosing how to move, that is contributing to creative skills. So, you know, you think about it in that way in terms of music and dance, you know, that's all gross motor development as well, right?
Definitely. And it's so important. Love it.
It's not like I've done this before or anything.
One of my favourites, just to lie on the floor with a bit of wallpaper. And you'd get the cars and then the big chunky pens, and the kids were making roads for the, you know, boys don't write. And I know that's really gender stereotypical, but you would end up with all the boys and the girls on the floor just creating this massive car map, doing that early mark making on a grand scale, which is what they needed before they kind of got to that fine motor.
Exactly. And then, I mean, personal, social, and emotional development. Creative is really good for this.
Yeah, definitely. It, you know, how lovely would it be if we had enough pairs of scissors for every child in a classroom, or enough yellow pens for them all to use yellow at the same time?
Glue sticks that never run out? What are you talking about, Lorna? It sounds like a fantasy
magic
world.
lids.
Oh, magic lids that never disappear and get lost. No, what are you doing to us?
Oh, I need to get on Dragon's Den, I feel, with these ideas.
Yeah, let us know.
How we're going to make them happen.
Yeah.
But they have to take turns. But then even more importantly, you know, we've all had a go at crafting something at some point and it's gone completely wrong, or not how you'd planned it in your head. And it's very easy to go, throw it in the bin, not going to bother with that. But we want children to develop resilience. And when things go wrong, we want them to keep going till they've got the end product that they are proud of, they are able to reflect on and learn from that experience. And that sense of achievement when it is done. And, you know, you put it on display with the name, they just love it.
Yeah. And the uniqueness of it as well, I think, I think the creative skills are a really good way to teach children about individuality and the uniqueness of themselves, and that actually, you know, theirs might not look like someone else's, but that's not like the end product is never kind of like the objective, right?
Exactly. It's the process, not the product. And that's one thing I do find quite tricky, because obviously when we're making stuff on Plus, and in particular craft, there is always going to be this beautiful end product.
Yeah.
Now, with little ones, they're not going to end up with the eyes in the right place. And that's the beauty of it. You want 30 of, you know, well, not even 30. We don't want them all doing the same things. We want them to take it down their own little tangent, but we want wonky eyes and 4 ears instead of 2. What's wrong with that? That's part of that creative journey for them.
Amen. And it's like, it's the skills, isn't it? It's like, okay, well, did they still practice their scissor skills? Yes, they did. Did they still practice problem solving? Yes, they did. You know, so like you say, that's great. All right, talking about the specific areas then. What about your literacy, your maths, and your understanding of the world? How does it fit in?
Yeah, so literacy, I kind of alluded to it earlier, you know, kids writing the instructions for me, but equally, you know, providing them with simplified instructions that have got clear pictures. You know, if they're on that phonics reading journey, they can do that. They can read those really simple words alongside. So it's developing that reading as well as using a picture to help them with reading. Having them write their own instructions for me, but also their friends, you know, or the magic alien from space that doesn't know what pair of scissors is. You know, we do that instruction writing as they go further through the school, but just talking through, how do we use a pair of scissors? What do we do? You know, how do we use them safely? It's just great for that. And they can factor that into their literacy. With maths, as I said earlier, you know, it's that shape, space, measure. When they're doing something a bit more making with materials, so maybe they're sewing, doing early sewing skills or jump modelling, you need to know that an A3 piece of paper is going to be way too big for that tiny toilet roll. So what can we do instead? So having that understanding and that awareness is really good for developing those math skills. Understanding the world, I always sort of go to events. There's so many, Mother's Day, Father's Day, huge events, Christmas, my favourite. My absolute favourite. There's so much that we can do to support children in their understanding of other cultures, different religions, but equally all the different animals that we have. There's, Red Panda Day, anybody?
Red Panda Day, let me know when that is.
Red Panda.
That's great. Yeah, let's celebrate that in our settings.
But then that's the kind of scientific, the patterns that they have, like tigers, leopards, all those different prints, again, which goes back to your maths with pattern. So there's just so much that you can do. And I'm just not even going to discuss expressive arts and design, because
that's a bit of a given.
Yeah. It does what it says on the tin.
Yeah. But I like that when you were talking about understanding the world, we can link it to our communities and our human world, so to speak, but also our natural world, because there is, like you say, pattern and design in nature, whether it's the swirls on a snail shell, the stripes of a tiger, all of this stuff. There is a way of looking at patterns, which is, like you say, also maths in that as well. So that's great. Now, we take the early years curriculum kind of like its face value, and that's kind of what we focus on. But the other stuff that we look at, not just what they're learning, but how they're learning it. I think a lot of characteristics of effective learning can be evidenced in the creative area or creative skills, resources, what have you.
Definitely. I sort of mentioned about resilience when we were talking about that kind of personal, social, emotional development, and sort of creating and thinking critically, so important. In your head, you see children trying to stick, the classic is the old cardboard tube, toilet roll tube, onto something flat. It's not quite as simple as a bit of PVA or Pritt round the end and stick it on. It's not going to work. So they've really got to think about how they could do it. And you usually end up going through a whole roll of sellotape by the end of it. But they've realised, they've learned, they've developed that skill. And they'll remember that for next time. And you'll remember to order extra in your next order because you need more sellotape.
Yep, I hear that.
And sort of active learning. The big one I always think of with this is paper mache. It's not a one-stop activity.
That takes forever. I mean, I love it. What?
But they've got to kind of go back to it. And I always remember whenever I did it, we did it as a class activity.
Yes.
So it just took that pressure off a little bit. And it might have been, obviously we didn't tell the children, but it might have been an adult after school activity as well. Just whack another layer of newspaper on quick.
Yeah. And what about playing and exploring? I mean, again, that's pretty much a given, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got to have that concentration. If they're making something, you can't pick up a piece of paper and go done and throw it back down again. It's not that simple.
They do that. They do try. They put one little scribble on a piece of paper and go, "Oh, miss, I've done a painting." I'm like, "What's that?" I don't know. All right then. Okay.
Or again with the glue, they whack a bit of glue on, stick it together, and then they pull it apart saying it's not stuck. Yeah, that's, it takes a little bit of time for it to actually dry and for it to stick properly so that we've got what we want at the end of it. So,
and learning about how materials react with each other.
Yeah.
So, sometimes PVA glue might be the best material to help stick things, but sometimes that's too much. Maybe we need to use masking tape or maybe, the watercolors aren't the best type of paint to use because the colors run. Maybe we should use the poster paints instead. And it's thinking about that kind of stuff as well, how they interact.
Definitely. And allowing them to try those different things. Yes, it is going to get messy, but they're not going to know that type of paint won't stick to a plastic bottle unless they've done it once and they've sat and picked it as it's dried and flicked away.
And I think, there is that balance of course we want the children to explore the processes, but sometimes children do want something that they want to take home to show their parents and carers, or sometimes there is a art expedition for the whole school and reception nursery have to get involved. Life happens, you know what I'm saying? So it's not to say that we can't ever show them models of this is what
Yeah.
it should look like, you know, because we do eventually want children to, like you say, have that sense of achievement of, oh,
Yeah.
this is the instructions and I got there,
Yeah,
but not to rely on it.
absolutely. And to make a change. You know what? We've run out of Pritt sticks. That's it. We're not getting any more Pritt sticks now
No,
till September. So you've got to find something different to stick
there is
it.
no Lorna. There is don't say that kind of stuff to me and my listeners. There is no glue sticks. When you talking here, girl, like this is September, like
Yeah, at this point of the term, no one's getting any more glue sticks, are they? You are scrounging around
that is
trying
the
to find
worst
one
news
with a
ever.
lid.
Yeah, that is the worst news I've ever heard. All right, continue.
So yeah, I think that's kind of where we're at with sort of yeah.
You know, you're right, because budgets as well, though. Let's be fair. Like when I was
Yeah.
in reception and nursery, majority of my budget went on the creative
Yeah.
kind of materials. But it is not a never-ending, you know, budget, and also a lot of these things are very expensive. So we're
Yeah.
trying to be savvy as much as we can.
Yeah, definitely. And sort of putting those pleas out to parents. And I know we all curse the overflowing junk modelling box, but do you know what? It's one less thing you've got to buy.
It's true.
You know,
I hate
it's
it, but
free.
it's true. It's like we've turned into the local recycling centre, isn't it? It's like, oh, another Pringles tube. Thank you very much. Other crisps are available. Yeah.
Or the unwashed yogurt pots.
Oh. Or the milk cartons that do smell slightly. You're like, how long's that been? Yeah. It's fine. We've all done it. No, but this is it. There's so many different skills and there's so many ways that we can use them to enhance all aspects of children's learning, and that's why it's really important to make sure we include it and think about it in not only all of our areas, if we choose to set up our classrooms in area specific sections, or whether we're trying to get it throughout our provision, and thinking about, you know, the type of activities that we're providing for our children. Yes, it might be a maths focus, but is there any way that we can actually use creativity in that, you know? And sometimes getting them off the table or up and about when you might not necessarily think to do so, which is great. So I was going to ask you for your top tips in sort of the different kinds of creative areas. All right, speaking from the expert here. So say if we were going to do like a painting area, a design, you know, that kind of area, what would your top tips be for that one?
Definitely get your washing up liquid in your poster paints. It makes it so much easier to wash out of clothes, off of hands. Yeah, I think I learned that right back when I was about 16, 17, and I've done it ever since. Always add washing up liquid, and it makes it go a little bit further as well.
Oh, what's the ratio? What's the I need some details here, Lorna. What is the proportion of paint to liquid ratio?
I tend to go for a squirt in a paint pot. So if you're filling up your paint pot, then squirt some in and give it a mix up.
Nice. Yeah. Interesting. I like that. Do you want to hear my top tip?
Go on.
I say it was not really my top tip. I've nicked it from other people that I've seen on the social media because they did it really well. Use old soap dispenser cartons. You know, the ones that you can push down.
Yeah.
As paint, because then you as paint dispensers, because then you reduce waste. Because it was always me that was trying to pour out the paint in a little palette, and I'd always pour out too much. But if you use and the children can then be quite independent in it as well, and be like, oh, I can push down on the now paint dispenser and get the right amount of paint.
Definitely.
Thanks.
A good way for maths as well, counting, so you can have 2 squirts. 1, 2.
Oh yeah.
You could do a bit of maths in there as well. How many squirts of red and yellow to make orange?
Oh, Lorna, stop it! You're spoiling us with these little top tips there. All right, then. What about role play? What are your top tips for role play?
Oh, for me, listen to the children.
Yeah.
So my favourite ever, I had a group of boys that would constantly fight in superhero play. Sorry.
Of course.
You know, obviously we wanted to redirect it, so we went down a superhero school. They had to write their cards saying what their superhero name was, their power. They had to make their masks. They had to make their capes and design them. And just by doing that, we borrowed some gym equipment that year 2 had got for doing well in their SATs. This is how long ago it was. It was when it was compulsory for year 2 to do SATs. But we had a whole gym set out outside for gym training, to be a superhero, and they had to do so many. They devised their own like gym plan of what they needed to do. It was amazing, and they completely engaged. We had all of them writing, and it was just immense. So go with what they're into. Use them to guide it, and they'll get so much more out of it.
100%. I feel like there needs to be like a Rocky theme tune over a modern time of what you've just described. Like, that is brilliant. I love that. My top tip for role play, and this is especially maybe if okay, 2 things. Have like loose parts, but not like the loose parts that you normally think of, but like just fabric.
Yeah.
Just some fabric, and see what they do. Because one day it'll be a skirt, one day it'll be a cape, and just see what they do. And it might be a tabletop next time, it might be a sail for a boat, just those things that, again, save on your budget, but also they can interpret themselves.
Yeah.
And then also, if you're one of those settings that likes to have a home corner all year round, again, speak to those parents and carers, because like me, you might be sick of the junk modelling corner piling up because you're getting so many recycling donations. Thank you very much. But, if you've got a home corner, you could pop them in the home corner as well, because then, especially if children use different brands and things from other countries, it's great to have it in the role play home corner, because then they can use those as props, and you don't have to do anything. It's just provided for you.
Absolutely. And if you find those out of date tins and cans at the back of the cupboard at home, we used to put those, obviously risk assess sensibly with your children.
Yeah, do not open.
Make sure they're not the ring pull ones.
Yeah,
you need a proper tin opener.
yeah. Hide the tin opener. We're not ready for that yet. No.
We're not at that level of fine motor skill development just yet.
Yeah. That's a really good idea.
That whole maths thing of weighing them, which one's heavier, lighter, and it's real life, like you say with the cereal boxes and things. They will recognise them. It's early reading skills, so it just shows how much you can get out of one small area. You get every area of the curriculum from early years.
Of course we do. We know how to do this anyway.
Exactly.
Okay. What about fine motor then? Fine motor, busy fingers, that kind of area.
So I'm very much a get it everywhere you can, and things like threading is brilliant, but make sure you've got different kind of thicknesses. So you've got nice thick shoelaces, but then you can have some thinner cotton as well, or embroidery thread. And the same with your beads. Have those nice big chunky ones with the big holes, but also some really fine ones. Again, know your children. It's not going to be appropriate for all children to have tiny ones, but making sure that they can all access it in a way that is appropriate to them. And a favourite for me was scissors in the Play-Doh area, because they're just practicing how to hold a pair of scissors and cut, and they're not going to do any damage, but it's a really good way of developing that skill, even with the plastic ones that do not cut paper.
They do
not use for them.
Why do we even have these things? They do not. Yeah, no, fair enough. Lovely, thank you. Now, as we all know, I think the best way, or the most exciting way that we can sort of introduce creative skills or activities in early years is through topics, events, and celebrations. I think that's what we do best. That's how we sort of generally run our curriculum anyway, isn't it? Based on their interests or events that are happening that are, relatable to our lovely children. So, like, where do we start? Because I often used to just get stuck in a bit of a rut, if that makes sense. Like, let's just do a paper plate craft for every festival, and I'm trying to not do that. Help us out, Lorna.
That's where we can help. As if by magic. So something we've on Plus and in Crafts, we've been working really closely with yourself and the early years segment. It's been really lovely, because it's really made us reflect and helped me to go back to my roots of stripping activities right back so that every child can take part. And our team are fantastic. We've started to really think about how can we make this early years friendly. So we do have paper plates for pretty much every event and every animal going, but there's also paper cups or even, paper. It doesn't have to be the most expensive thing in the world. Just, scrap paper is a great way to kind of get children in. We've got templates that they can cut, or you've got some children that will feel confident to draw a pair of ears to stick on a dog. So let them. So you can really kind of do that ability without doing it to the children. They've got those options. You can put out templates, or they can draw their own. We've been putting on sliders as well, so it shows any users. This one is a nice, it's simple one that most children would be able to do independently. And we've got some lovely collage activities, and we've stripped it right back, so there's a page of pattern. So for your children that can't cut yet but can rip and kind of explore the creativity in that way, they can do that with patterned paper. We've got simple shapes for them to cut out. So your nice square that's just the kind of 4 straightforward cut. Well, I say straightforward. For some children, it's tricky, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But then there's also more complex shapes for those children that have had access to scissors from a younger age and are more competent. They've kind of got that stretch as well. So children are really free to explore. And I think that's the key to it, is making sure that they can all access it.
Yes.
And our events, we've just got hundreds of events. Like I said, Christmas is the biggest one. It's the one I get most excited about. But we're starting to use that in other areas as well. So we've got things for, beautiful Diwali wreaths that have just gone on that would look lovely on a classroom door as a little class project or something. So yeah, absolutely.
You got anything for red pandas?
Yes, there are red panda things there.
Have you actually? That's hilarious. I want to go make a red
Highland
panda
cows. When they
got Highland cows.
Yep.
Stop it.
No,
Highland
they were
cow
big
crafts.
things. So we went with Highland cows, and we look at what people are looking at. What are children into at the moment? What are adults? Because there's also adult crafts.
I was going to say, what about the teachers? This sounds like a really good staff meeting, like a little crafty staff meeting. Like, oh yeah, let's make some Highland cow crafts together, please. I love it. But this is it though, because it kind of encapsulates what creative skills are there for. It's not just a fun activity. It's life skills that even you use not only in your job as an adult, but as well-being, as something to do in your spare time, as a hobby. It's not just about the early years typical classroom, is it?
No, absolutely. And I think that's what I really love about doing what I do now is, okay, we're here for the children. It is beyond the classroom, but I was a massive crafter, and it's something I use. If I'm having a down day, I'll go and sit at a sewing machine. I'll get the paints out with my daughter. That's what I do to pick myself up. That's my mindfulness.
Same.
And yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it.
We're just kindred spirits, Lorna.
Totally.
Oh, okay. Well, on that lovely thread, we always finish our episode with like a little fun game. Okay. So it's like Teacher Would You Rather.
Yep.
This time it's a crafts edition.
Nice.
For you, of course. Okay. Apart from the first question, sorry. Everyone gets the first same question. Would you rather tea or coffee?
I'm a tea girl.
Same.
Especially now I can drink it whenever and it stays hot all day. Well, not all day, but I can drink it while it's hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not in the classroom. Yeah. You don't forget about it. Yeah. Yeah, warm tea. Gosh, what a commodity that we forgot about. Sorry, early years listeners. I'm sorry. But maybe this is a reminder to go have that brew. All right, love? Go have it. Amen. Do you know, I just found out this new tea. I have to tell you about it. It's like spiced chamomile with vanilla and something. I have never... It smelled insane.
See, I love the smell of these teas, but then I never like the taste.
Same, because it never it tastes really dull or like dishwater. Yeah, no, this one, no, it tastes like it smells.
It's written down.
10 out of 10 recommend. All right, now we're getting into the crafts biz. Okay. Would you rather messy play or role play?
I'm definitely a messy kind of girl.
Get
it all out. Get the eco glitter and the PVA and the paint.
Oh no.
Yeah. But I was also, I can back myself up here. I was the person that would wash up afterwards as well. I didn't leave it to everybody. I was part of the team. So
Okay.
I would get all the messy stuff out, but I would help.
What's your stance on slime?
Not in the class. Oh no, no in hair. No,
Right?
it's a nightmare at home. Let alone in a classroom.
Exactly. Oh, all right. No, yeah, I'm definitely team role play. I'm sorry. Like, me and Messy Play just did not, and I tried so hard to hide it from the children, but they really knew. They were like, Miss Walker doesn't like the sand. And I'm like, no, I don't. Keep it away from me, please, children. But the role play, oh my goodness, I would love dressing up as the craziest things for the children if they wanted me to be Stickman, I would put a brown paper bag over my head and I would be that Stickman for them. I love the role play. That's great. I could just be Silly Billy, and that's fun.
Exactly. Takes the time of not being you, not being Miss Walker.
Right.
Walker.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. Yeah. It really is, and that hierarchy is gone, and not almost the responsibility. It's like, oh, I don't have to be Miss Walker for 5 minutes. I can just be in this imaginary world with the kids and just have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I kind of want to do it. No. Okay, last but certainly not least, would you rather paint and glue or needle and thread?
I'm a needle and thread girl. Well, I say needle and thread, more sewing machine, but needle and thread than paint and glue. Yeah.
Same. You know what? And it's the Messy Play thing again. I hate the feeling of all my friends are like, oh, do you remember when you used to dip your hand in PVA glue and then spend hours peeling it off? Yeah. No, I do. No, that's disgusting. No, I was not one of those kids. No thanks. Needle and thread, yes, please. What's your latest sewing project?
So I have some fabric that my husband's brought back from Ghana, and I'm going to be making it into a dress. I found a pattern, so that's my next thing.
Please can you send me photos when you're done? Like, I love
this. Okay, will do.
All right, I'll send you a photo of my latest project. Do you want to hear this?
Yeah, go on.
I made me and my puppy matching outfits.
Nice.
I'd like. And Hobbycraft, other shops are available, had this really cute fabric with like little bones, like little dog bones and stuff. And I was like, right, I have to. So I've got like this really nice maxi skirt, and she's got a little bandana in the same fabric, and we can go out and we've got matching outfits.
Oh, so cute.
Right?
I need a photo.
I'll send you a photo. Also, I will, if anyone out there would like to hire my services, little side job there, little matching outfit. It's so much fun. We look so cute. I don't want to lie.
Love it.
I love it. This has been so much fun. Thank you for joining us, Lorna.
Thank you.
It's been lovely. I hope to have you on again soon. I'm sure there's so many things we could talk about with creative skills and stuff. So, but hopefully we've had our lovely listeners left feeling inspired after this episode.
I hope so. If we can help, we're always happy to listen. So if people have got ideas or thoughts, then do reach out and let us know.
Yeah, I think that's what's really cool about Twinkle is if you see something on site or you don't see something on site and you think, oh, I'd love a resource like this, you can literally ask us and we'll make it. Like, amazing. So, no, thank you very much, Lorna. I feel like I need to go and make something now. So I love talking with you, but I might just go and get the paint my numbers out.
But quite calming colouring.
Quite calming colouring. Triple C.
Oh,
I love it. Have a lovely day. I'll see you soon.
And you. See you soon. Take care.
So that's it for today's episode. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you would like to join in or would like to know more, then come and find us on our social media sites. We have a Facebook page, Facebook groups, an Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Pinterest, and YouTube. All the links of where to find us will be in our podcast description. Come and join the conversation. And whatever you're doing today, I hope you have a great day.